Hi, I'm Lottie. Welcome to my channel. I'm just going to let you all know that I am just recording and uploading. I have recorded multiple videos and I have not uploaded them because I was trying to figure out how to crop them and fix them up or whatever. And I decided that it's more important to put the information out there so that others can benefit and not worry so much about how nice it looks or whatever. So eventually that will come, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that my videos for now will just be me talking, nothing fancy, no cute little introductory song, but eventually I'll get there. Anyway, most of you are watching because I invited you to this link. You already know that I have a story about my health and the improvement of my health. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis in, I believe it was November of 2015, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, I didn't know what to do with that diagnosis, but I spoke with my chiropractor and she was like, well, you can definitely combat this. And so she gave me some tips, really just baby steps. She was like, stay away from fried foods, try and increase the vegetable intake. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And I did it for like a week. Then I just kind of went back into my normal habits, which is common for most of us. We have these specific things that we like to eat, or the way that we grew up, our family, the types of foods that our family had, it kind of just goes down. You know how people say, oh, it's hereditary to have, arthritis, or to have some kind of heart problem, or it runs in the family to have cancer, things like that. But really it runs in the family to have a specific eating habit, which actually later on you'll learn then feeds those ailments that your family has been having, but it's related to the food. So think about that. Anyway, I didn't want to change my food, my eating habits. I loved my fried chicken from Publix. I loved my candy and chocolate. It's my favorite. By the way, don't be scared. You can still have chocolate. Just not milk chocolate. Anyhow, I mean, there were just, you name it, and I just did not want to give it up. And I think the main problem was I understood. She was like, hey, you can fix this by doing this, but I've never heard it before. I didn't hear personal stories of how people, overcame, autoimmune diseases. It's different when you're just like, hey, try this. And I was like, I didn't really have a motivation. I mean, yes, I should have been motivated because I didn't want to be in pain, or when I think of arthritis, I think of, the way, the people's hands where it's like they're stuck, you can't move them. I didn't want that for myself, but I also just didn't make the connection that what I was eating was really making that big of a difference. So I also had a friend from church, and she was sharing that I can change it. So there's, the second person who's stepping in. And then I realized that for a time there, it was almost as if I didn't want to accept that information because I wanted to be a victim. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't think it's as far-fetched as we all would think, because it was more so I was diagnosed with this problem, and there's nothing I can do about it. It just is what it is, and I'm just gonna have to suffer. Woe is me. And I didn't really think about that until recently, that I didn't want to have control. I didn't want it to be up to me. It was just something that happened to me. But I have learned that it is not like that at all. it is all about our choices. What we do, there's a consequence for it. So anyhow, what I wanted this video to be was just kind of the introduction of how I felt, what I learned, and then moving right into when I decided in the summer of 2017 to do a juice fast. And the reason I decided to do that was because I watched Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, which is an amazing documentary. You can find it on Netflix, or I don't know if there's anywhere else that you might be able to locate it, but it is worth finding. It really opened my eyes. Joe Cross, it also had an autoimmune disease. He did a 60-day juice fast, and he he lost so much weight. His pains and things were gone. He was able to get off of his medication. And I was like, and at that point, because you notice a lot of time has passed by, and this is when I started really feeling the aches and the pains in my joints. It was hard to lift my arms, to do my hair, my fingers. It was so hard to bend them like this. It really it was so tight and it was painful. And I had some aches and pains in my knees and sometimes in my ankles. So I was feeling it already. And so I was like, the doctor, my rheumatologist, gave me methotrexate and Plaquenil, which are both to help with the inflammation and things like that. And it's kind of scary because I understand methotrexate is really, really strong, and which most medications are. Like, we are just not, our bodies were not made to have all this chemical concoction put into our body. Like, we weren't meant to live that way. And I was nervous more about the side effects of taking these medications long term than about the pain I was having. So, but at the time, I took the medication because I was nervous too, because they explain if you don't take care of it, then that's when you get into a place where you can't really move anymore and things like that. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. Anyhow, I watched this documentary and I decided I was going to try it. I didn't do 60 days, I did 30 days. And more so 30 days, because I did end up eating a few meals towards the end, but they were definitely like raw, like a salad or I don't know, mostly salads. When I was like kind of at a place I really want to eat some food. So anyway, I did the juicing, and I'm thankful to my friends and to my husband, who was super supportive. I had some friends from church who actually joined me on the challenge, and we both were, we all were just supporting each other and pushing each other through because we all wanted to be healthier. So that's definitely nice to have support. But if you don't have people around you, reach out to people. Like, even me, if you need support, if you're close by, you have my number, call me. But if not, feel free to message me on here, and I'll do better, because honestly, I haven't really been too great with like going online and checking like Facebook and things like that. But I'm going to improve, because this is something I really am passionate about. I want to help people the way that I've been helped. I want others to know that there is hope and there is a way to fix the problems you're having with your health. And it's just choices. It's choices. So anyway, I watched the documentary. I did the juice fast. At the end of the juice fast, I got my blood work done again, and I was negative for the ANA, which is showing that you have some kind of autoimmune problem. So I was negative, and I was able to get off of my medication, and I was just so excited. You guys don't even understand. And I mean, I was just crying and praising the Lord, and it was just so beautiful. Just a great experience. But what I noticed was, as time was going on, I tried to do more whole food plant-based, but as time was going on, I increased the amount of processed food. So instead of being a whole food plant-based diet, it became more of a vegan diet, where for the main difference is when you're on a vegan diet, a lot of people are not conscious of the actual nutrients. Their focus is mostly about making sure there are no animal products in their food. But that leaves you with so many other options. I mean, Oreos, chips, all kinds of like the meat, frozen meat supplements. There are a lot of things. And not that these things, are horrendous to have here and there, but when they become a normal part of your diet, that's when it's a problem. And it became a normal part of my diet. And so I was feeling some of those symptoms coming back, the pain, the tightness. So anyway, I just wanted to add that little tidbit in, so you know how important it is. Not only, like, you can do a juice fast, you don't have to do 30 days, you can do 7 days, or you can try and do 30 days if it's something serious and you're ready to like really fight through. But you can also just change your diet into a whole food plant-based diet, which is just fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and brown rice and beans. That's a whole food plant-based diet, and it's not like a whole bunch of frozen prepared meals or things that are in the bag, or it's just like literally going and getting fresh produce and then making your meals. That's what it's supposed to be. And so yes, there's, of course, you can have a mix in between, or here and there have something that's added in that's not completely whole, and that will be okay. But if the majority of your diet is whole food plant-based, then you'll be fine. And the nuts as well, I forgot about those. Anyway, I just wanted you to, if you're trying to get started and you don't know where to start, you can either do juicing, you can do a smoothie challenge, because I actually just finished one of those. You can do a raw food diet, which is really good too, to like boost the start of the changes in your body. Or you could simply just move into a plant-based diet, so you're still having your cooked foods. You won't feel like you're missing out, but you're giving your body the tools that it needs in order to start healing. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I'll do my best to make sure I'm checking on those. And then I'm going to go back and find all my videos that I had previously. Excuse if they're not pretty, or like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and put them up. Like, I'm going to do them once a week, and I'm going to put them up because I was sharing at the time my journey. I was just kind of showing you some of the juices I was making, and explaining some of the experiences that I've had, like how I felt physically. Was I better? Was I tired? Was I those type of things? And then once I share all of those, I will come back and just do like a now video, or if you guys have specific questions that I feel I need to answer, then I can probably upload one of those and then upload a current video as well that same week, or once I get a hang of it. I'm sure it won't be too crazy. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you go to Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead, just type it in Google. There's actually a website that Jill Cross created, and it has great recipes for juicing, which is what I started off on. But there are like so many things, even on YouTube. Like, there's great resources for anything that you're looking to do. So I hope I helped in some way, and we'll be in touch.